Years ago, I made a video on Goku vs Saitama, in which the conclusion was that Goku easily wins. But now that Saitama has become so much stronger than he ever has been before, and Dragon Ball seems to have stagnated in terms of power, this matchup is way more interesting and actually way closer, and the result might surprise you. So today I'm redoing it. The first guy to ever make Goku vs Saitama. Never been done before. Or, at least with somebody who's really unbiased and actually looks at the scaling without any bias for one or the other. Saitama is the main character of One Punch Man. He's the One Punch Man. He's known for beating anyone with just one punch, would have thought. But what are his actual feats? In One Punch Man, dragon level threats are typically city busters, or sometimes even country busters. And Saitama has easily one-shotted a bunch of them, like Kabuto, Goketsu, Evil, Cyborg Guy, and characters like Orochi, Boros, or Garo, for example, are way stronger. But even Orochi, the king of monsters, who's stronger than Goketsu, doesn't stand a chance against Saitama. He gets taken out with just a regular punch. And keep in mind, this is the same guy who summoned a bunch of lava against Saitama that was about the size of a small moon, and when fused as Saikorochi, slashed a portion of the planet from the planet. Slashed a portion of the planet. In the Season 1 finale, Saitama faces Boros and effortlessly defeats him. Saitama is so powerful that he takes Boros down with just regular punches. Then, with a serious punch, he reflects an attack that could have destroyed the planet's surface, which requires around 150 petatons of force. Some argue that Saitama's punch is so much stronger that it should be higher, which is true. Also, there are statements or guidebooks that imply that that attack alone could have basically destroyed the whole planet or even a star. And as for speed, Saitama is probably faster than light. He can easily keep up with Flashy Flash, who is repeatedly shown to move at the speed of light or being faster than light. Some calculations even suggest that Saitama is 60 times the speed of light, based on his fight with Flashy Flash. And this was more or less the analysis I had the last video as well. But here's the thing, Saitama has got way stronger and has had way better feats. We have seen him sneeze away Jupiter, as well as destroying one of its moons against Garo, which puts to rest the idea that Saitama is not planet level, which at the time it was a real debate. And he also used a fart to move way faster than light, which is another debate there was at the time of, is Saitama light speed? Are characters in One Punch Man even light speed? It was very contentious. Are they able to dodge light or just lightning? But Saitama farting at faster than light speeds is definitely putting him up there. And him clashing with Garo later on literally destroyed hundreds, if not thousands, or who knows, maybe millions of stars in one serious punch. Well, I guess it was a clash of two serious punches, but you understand what I'm saying. That is multi-solar system to galaxy levels of power. And in the latest arc in the manga, he's just straight up capable of blocking a 4th dimensional attack from a character attacking him from a higher dimension. Now, this portion of the video is going to be very similar to the one I made years ago because Goku has kind of stagnated. And this will go into my conclusion at the end of the video, but let's go through it. Goku has been around for ages and has had a bunch of different versions across series like GT, there's Xenoverse, Super Manga, obviously, and the Super Anime. Out of all of them, I would say GT is like probably the weakest if you don't consider it canon to Super, and Xenoverse Goku is probably the strongest. So strong, in fact, that he could probably solo the entire Dragon Ball Super universe with low effort. But for now, let's just stick to the main continuity Goku from the Dragon Ball Super anime or manga, because for the purposes of this video, they're not different enough to have them separate. One of the biggest points people talk about when it comes to Dragon Ball Super is the fight between Goku and Beerus, where they were going all out, allegedly, and nearly destroyed Universe 7 just from their punches clashing. In a similar way that Garo and Saitama were destroying stars just by clashing their punches, Goku and Beerus were almost destroying the universe. And in Dragon Ball, each universe is like a whole macrocosm or a whole small multiverse into itself with multiple realms. And during that fight, Beerus was even holding back, and Goku was in his Super Saiyan God form. After that, Goku upgraded to Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct Omen, and even mastered Ultra Instinct. Goku's base form alone is at least universal since then, and with all of those transformations, his power multiplies, making him multiversal. For those who don't know, multiversal means being able to destroy a few to an infinite number of universes, while something like multiversal plus means having the power to destroy an infinite amount of universes. For example, Super Saiyan 3 gives a 400 times boost, which is already multiversal. That would make Goku multiversal in Dragon Ball Super. Before we even factor in Super Saiyan Blue, which is another crazy multiplier, or Ultra Instinct, which is not a multiplier but makes Goku the strongest he's ever been. And when it comes to speed, Goku is massively faster than Light at the very least. Characters were light speed in like the start of Dragon Ball Z, and you can add all those multipliers over the years to make them, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, millions of times faster than Light. It's getting ridiculous. But he's actually had feats shown to have maybe infinite speed, meaning that he can move beyond the limits of time itself, creating a pseudo four-dimensional feat, but not really. Because with all of that being said, I think Goku actually loses these days. It might sound crazy, I know. And I believed Saitama loses to Goku for literally a decade by now. But when new information comes in, I got to adapt, and Saitama, in my opinion, surpassed Goku. People will ask how, and here it is. When people call Goku 4D, they actually refer to some sort of time-related thing. But when people call Saitama 4D, we are talking about an actual higher dimension. They just simply aren't the same thing. They're not the same type of four-dimensional. Goku's 4D thing doesn't mean anything if you even believe it. He's just a three-dimensional character when it comes to spatial dimensions. But he has some time-related resistances, or has surpassed time, or depending on the interpretation you get, it doesn't really affect his spatial dimensionality. While Saitama blocks people that have an added vector of space, someone that sees 3D like a drawing. The only way to argue Goku actually has a chance is to say that the afterlife in Dragon Ball is a higher mathematical dimension, so he and Beerus could have destroyed it in their fight, or that his fights with Beerus and Broly are called super dimensional in some anime guidebooks from some weird obscure thing. But that doesn't actually mean anything, so it doesn't really matter. And the thing with heaven or afterlife being higher dimensional is kind of a weird argument that I personally don't believe, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. Maybe I could make it into its own video at some point when I talk about Dragon Ball cosmology as a whole. However, even then, you would have to use one of those like obscure guides and some of those obscure arguments to get Goku to be like 4D in a spatial sense. Whereas Saitama, it's blatantly in the manga. There's a guy who's 4-dimensional, he has a 4-dimensional ability, and Saitama just blocks it. That's about it. You don't need any weird obscure stuff. For a long time, Saitama fans needed obscure and bad arguments to justify Saitama beating Goku. But I think for the first time in a while, and it's going to take a long time until people come around to this, especially for people like me who have been against the Saitama meat riding train for so long, that Saitama is just stronger at this point. And personally, I don't feel bad, I don't feel happy, I just don't care. Because as a power scaler, you should just care about the reality of things, about the truth of things, about what happens when two characters fight. You should be someone who analyzes who wins, not to insert a conclusion because you like or dislike one character or another. I like One Punch Man more, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest Goku fan. However, for the best part of 5 years on YouTube, I've said Goku wins every single time. And in the last year, I was just convinced by Saitama's feats that he's actually stronger. So as of right now, unless Goku gets stronger, stronger? God damn it. So as of right now, unless Goku gets stronger, I will be the first to argue Saitama beats him based on actual arguments and not some BS about him being a gag character or something. I still think those arguments are bad. I think people's arguments that Saitama beats Goku before the 4D stuff were bad, but as evidence changes, god damn it, why am I stumbling? But as evidence changes, But as evidence changes, so does my opinion. And right now, it seems that it points in the direction of Saitama being stronger. Well, I guess fuck me, right? Fuck me, right? That's right. That's what the One Punch Man, writer, I guess is one, and the mangaka is Murata. That's what they said to me. They said, fuck you and your whole fucking video. Because while I'm working at this video, literally, as I'm editing it, it turns out that none of that happened. That all the latest feats, everything that happened in 2024 might not just exist, might have been erased from history. So basically what happened is that, again, One Punch Man is going through redoing chapters, rewrites and redrawings and etc. And because of that, that means that Saitama's feat of doing the 4-dimensional thing might not even exist. Might be gone. It doesn't exist anymore. And if it's not, if it doesn't exist anymore, if they're gonna retcon it or whatever, then okay, then Goku obviously wins. Saitama goes back to being, galaxy level at most or something. We don't know for sure, but as of right now, it seems that the story has been retconned, and at least the arc has been retconned and changed. So from as far as this video goes, forget everything, Goku still wins, Saitama is not that strong. However, Saitama in the previous version, the retcon version, was strong enough to beat Goku.